Welcome everybody to the Real World Content Team meeting for what day is it? It's Monday, September 12th, 2022. And Mr. Z, aka Guru Merkaba, here on the call. I'm Jan, of course, and ReelwUrld is the team. WeFunder.com/ReelwUrld to invest in the team, invest in the first cinematic social network. JusticeForHire.com to see our first show produced with a global community. And ReelwUrld.com, just if you want to learn about us and see all that stuff centralized in one place. We love you. So yes, I am in the theater, going to shoot this updated vision video for WeFunder to always refining, bro. So like it's I think that at the end of the day, we're what's up there right now is not reflective of like the current state of the journey, right. And like I think what it got us to where we are. So now it's a matter of us having a video up there that is reflective of it. So I'm like, okay, so I've been thinking about it for weeks and like writing little notes on it. And then today I was just like, no, it has to happen today. I'm not going anywhere. I taught a class in the morning, Tai Chi class. And then I'm like, all right, I'm coming back and this is all I'm doing until I shoot it and then cut it and then get it done. And it's all happening today. So
nice.
Yeah, man. Sometimes takes a little bit of time to switch gears into the content creation mode when it comes to something that is supposed to be this important. And then I'm like, oh yeah, the pitch is already done because that's what I've been doing in Uber and Lyft for like a few months.
Nice. That's really cool. It's funny because I'm kind of on that same page of like I'm doing that for my podcast. I co-host a podcast with one of my friends. And we just started back up again. So I was just editing the first episode or the newest episode and just getting it out and stuff. So yeah.
Well, man, let me know when we can do a real world feature on that show.
Actually, we'll talk about that after this because I was literally just talking to my co-host about that, and it could be our next episode if you have time and you're down.
Dude, just let me know what the recording dates are. Yeah, I lost you. I had you, but I lost you. I want to do it. Is it my computer? All right. Well, I'm sure you're there.
There we go.
There we go.
Sorry. I said, oh yeah, absolutely. We record every Saturday. We try to record on Saturdays. It'll be in the evening. Since you're in California, then it'll be the same time zone.
Okay. I have jet this Saturday, but the Saturday afterward is
perfect.
It would be great. I'd love to do that.
Wonderful.
And thank you again for your submission for the Urban Action Showcase. We got five actual submissions.
Did we get 5 actual submissions?
Yeah,
I only saw there were 4 on the app.
Yeah. Ragdoll, new guy who's very new to the community. Spartacus, and Tai Chi Wonder /
Wait, you said new guy who's very new to the community. So
yeah, totally new guy who's not Spartacus.
So who's the totally new guy? I didn't see their video.
He either submitted before Ragdoll or after Ragdoll. It's like right under or on top of Ragdoll. Oh,
he must have been the person who submitted for the superhero kung fu extravaganza. So someone
might be right.
They ended up doing it to that mission versus the UAS.
You're right. You know what? That's a technicality. That's a strong technicality, sir. We know you submitted.
I didn't see. When I looked at it, I didn't understand it as that. Okay, so now, all right, that's all right. That makes sense. Okay, so yeah, 5 submissions.
There's some festival deadlines today too that I have to consider putting us into. But I mean, but ours is the most important.
Yes.
I think that we may want to do like some community voting. Like, how do we make how do we make this? Like previously, in the past, we've done community voting for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Demetrius at Urban Action Showcase said that we can have until next week to send stuff to him. So we might want to take this week. I'm doing my best to kind of to minimize. I'm a little torn. I'm doing my best to minimize activity while also, making it as communal as possible. And in the past, when we've done community voting, it's been great. So it might be something where it's like, hey, like which I feel like we should screen 3 films. If we're gonna have an hour block at Urban Action Showcase, we should probably screen 3 films.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what the length is of each. I'd assume each one's like under 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, I think it's cool to at our event have some semblance of competition.
Yeah.
So there's a reality to all. Let's say there are 5 submissions. There's a reality to this that I always want. I want to be as straightforward as possible. Like 3 of them are going to be action centric scenes.
Right.
And the reality of that those action centric scenes, it's gonna be you, it's gonna be Sensei Claus, who just joined. Mike, what's going on, dude?
Hey.
How are you guys?
Doing good, man. Well, thank you for that great S-Lock video that you just put up.
Oh, so I tell you guys I started a sumo club. Well, I joined one a few months ago, and weirdly enough, that's the only really legal way to barrack people in sumo, and it's also the best way because they're all huge.
The legal way to what people in sumo?
Barrack people in sumo.
What is the? Could you say that one more time? Legal way to what people?
Maybe. There we go. So for some reason, this grip is illegal in sumo. This one, like in wrestling, is a little sketchy. The S-Lock is legal, which is weird because it's the handiest, Can you do this? What?
Can you do this lock? This body lock from like Muay Thai?
I think that one's still out. They would call that. They might call that a prayer grip. The thing about sumo is it's all about the referees can be crazy. They're not all saying the same thing at the same time.
Interesting. So you're doing sumo now?
Yeah, there's a new club that started a few months ago. I'm trying to keep it running so it doesn't die over the winter,
My God, that sounds awesome.
Good.
That sounds awesome, dude.
Cheers.
Yeah, I love that. But if you can share any videos from your training, I'd be super interested to see your training. David, aka Creators here. Welcome, man.
Hello.
Hey, man, and thank you, David, for your message. I'm gonna get. So David's going to Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, and he asked for some flyers to pass out for JFH. I think that's a great idea. And Sensei, are you going to Comic-Con? New York Comic-Con?
I actually forgot about that. When is it?
October 6th through the 10th or the 7th through the 10th, something like that.
I might be in town then.
Well, if you can both make it, that's great. But David, no matter what, I'll make sure to get you flyers. we have a whole bunch of these things right now that I have in my backpack, which are these wonderful JFH stickers. Wonderful Justice for Hire sticker QR code, which we had at San Diego. Z will remember at con.
Yeah, actually, they work really well when you're trying to introduce people to the app. Because I threw it on my gauntlet when I was wearing my costume, and as I would tell people about JFH, I just say, if you want to go directly to the app, all you have to do is scan the QR code, and people would take out their phones and go scan the QR code, and they would be sent right to it.
Okay, that's what I think I'm gonna do.
So yeah, maybe we'll send you some stickers and some flyers, or maybe we'll send you flyers with a QR code, something like that.
All right.
So thank you, man. The
Yep.
So guys, Z and I were just talking about what the right thing to do is with the Urban Action Showcase footage. And on one side, there's like me personally just trying to do less. But on another side, I want to make sure that every decision that we're doing is community based. And there's also other factors where we got 5 submissions, and of those 5 submissions, 3 of them are going to be like really clear action remakes of 3 of them truly fit the criteria.
Okay.
At the very least, maybe 4 of them. I haven't watched all of them yet; just haven't had a chance to. But we still have another week to send it in, officially. So, like, if we wanted to, we could do a community voting kind of experience. So
Maybe I would suggest like 3 of them, whatever, and then like 2 honorable mentions, so people still feel included.
yeah, that's great. That's excellent. So when it comes to a community vote, what we could do is this week potentially put all of them online and ask people to vote, as we've done in the past, and see who gets the most hits. But of course, if we do that, there is that costs energy. That's time, and that's focus, and it's like yet another thing of like, hey, hurry up and make this decision, and then we can send the results to Demetrius. What do you guys think about potentially doing that versus just internally being like, okay, these 3 go to the will be screened in Times Square in November?
I say you want to do less. I would say we should do less, and make it like a decision amongst ourselves and send it to them, like an ethical decision. And we all have like a panel, like we would be the panel of judges, judge it, and then what we feel can meet the criteria. Because somebody could win, I'm not trying to be funny, and it's popularity, and it's not quality based. And I know you're all about quality. So like what we feel comes to, like you said, there's 5 submissions and you feel that 3 of them meet the standard. But what happens if like one that doesn't meet the standard that you're trying to promote wins based off of popularity?
Yeah.
And like people who really put in effort and hard work, I'm not saying don't get recognized, but like they get pushed to the side. And it's just like, I put in effort, and like this is me thinking from like competition wise. Like I don't think
David, I don't know if you saw the last one, but it's not a vote. It's done by judges. When we did it last time around, it wasn't people we knew, it was a bunch of cinema insiders. So popularity is not really a factor. Guys like, Rick Myers, a bunch of fellas like him just vote on the spot. They don't, it's not community based for the judging that way.
So Mike, what I'm referencing is in the past we have done community wins. Actually, Creator David won one of those, and so you won a community vote, and I think a community vote is valuable, but I think that the community vote being the criteria of the deciding factor of what we send over to Demetrius at the Urban Action Showcase, who's our partner over there, might not be the right thing. The right thing might be to have a completely separate community vote closer to the November event, so that all that's stacked together. And it's like, hey, the November event's happening. It's happening this weekend. We're also going to have a community award. So that way, Mike, the judges get to choose their favorite at the event because they're professionals from the industry. And then we have the fan vote, and we have a separate prize for the fan winner as well. That might be the perfect thing to do.
That's perfect. And so that way.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I was just trying to bring that to a 2-tiered thing.
Yeah. We should honor each tier, and David, I think you bring up something that is actually a very deep, it is a deep, requires deep contemplation, and that is the creation of a committee that makes decisions based on wisdom and quality, and what that means for the larger entity, the people, etc. And I think that we're always attempting to find that balance of how do we make sure we're always making decisions that are wise, while also always taking into account the community's voice. And it's that is a challenge that I think any organization, government system, etc. goes through. So yeah, always got to meditate.
I agree with that. I agree with that one, and I think what Creator had put forward is like a really good balance of the two. Of like where we have in-person judges, and then what you said of having like closer to it, we do a community vote, as like, so that we have our best of community, and then we have the official judging.
So
Okay.
two separate prizes. That way nobody feels excluded, but also nobody feels like they're working for nothing. You know, if that makes sense. Like I've judged cosplay competitions, and we break it up that way too. You know, we don't want somebody who, let's say, spent 6 months on the cosplay, get outshined by, you know, a cute little kid in like a tree, like, you know, and like a cute little costume, you know. It's not fair, but, you know, like I said, we break it up to, like, you know, professionalism versus fan. You know, of course the little kid's gonna win, but, you know, we want to see people like me personally. Like when I do the competitions, I kind of look at the judges. I kind of see what the criteria is and whether or not I want to personally participate in. You know, like last year when I did it, I really took into consideration of, like, you know, this is something that I like. Am I going to put in a time and effort, or am I just going to, you know, like wing it? And, you know, it pays off, but it's just like, it also lets us see who's willing to really go, you know, come forward. Just like, you know, that's a valuable person because they took time, they took effort, they took energy. They could have spent money, you know. Some people are, you know, some people are like, hey, I got my skills from this, and this is what they're trying to showcase. Like, you know, personal. I don't like speaking for nobody else, but like for me personally, like my skills are costume designing, or my skills are, you know, like grunt work or like networking, you know. So I kind of had to go outside the realm of, you know, acting, outside the realm of constantly being in front of the camera. You know, I had to do things that would make it seem like, you know, you're not all the way there, but you're willing to put in the work. And that's what, you know, when it comes to, like, you know, a personal, like you said, this is all about quality, you know. And I don't want to say I don't believe in participation trophies, but there are some things, like specifically, in my opinion, this specific Justice for Hire is about quality. And, you know, not everything is of good quality. So I don't like saying not everything is not of good quality. You know, like you said, you're trying to set I feel like there should be a standard. You know, not everybody's always going to be at that standard, but we want them to feel included. You know, like you said, they can get professional feedback. They can get things that they can work on, and, you know, we don't want to run people away, or we don't want people to feel like, I'm not doing this because they judge too hard, or I don't want to do it because we're not saying it. You know, fine tune a couple of things, and then come back to us with something else. You know, that way people can feel like they noticed me. Okay, I can see where this is going. You know, not everybody's going to see the vision. Or people are going to see, maybe some people are like, oh, all I see is I'm going to be in a show. I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, I'm going to be that. But they don't understand the requirements that it takes. And, you know, you don't want to praise mediocrity. But, you know, so you don't, like you said, you maybe we can inspire somebody, like, just watching, like, oh, if I do that too, maybe I could sign up. You know, like, it's like you said, it's a fine balance. You don't want to hurt nobody's feeling. You don't want to discredit nobody's work. That's how I look at it. It's like a good fine balance. So, like I said, I think you're right. Two prizes should be two prizes. You know, so, community fans.
David, are you going to be able to? I think it would be valuable to have you in New York at the event, on the November 4th and 5th event, as last year's winner. Would you be able to be present for that?
What day is that?
It's a Friday and Saturday. So
I live
Saturday.
in New York.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So Saturday, I mean, pretty much everybody on this call will hopefully be at that event.
Are you gonna be in New York?
Z's flying in. I'm flying in.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, I live in New York.
Okay.
Of course I'll be there.
All right.
Should I bring my suit?
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily, but I think that it could be cool. I mean, there is the Saturday is the cosplay event, so I mean, if you wanted to kill all the birds with one stone, you could, or water all the plants with one cup. Maybe that's more progressive. But
I feel like we should all bring our action figures as well, like to give them a taste of.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Like, hey, this is so they can get like a quick, not a debrief, but like a quick what we're about.
Yeah. Yeah. Since I haven't seen your action figure either, I'd love to see it. Did you?
Yeah, so I left it in the box because I thought, unboxings have been this ridiculous trend for a while. I don't get it. But I figure unless I want to tape it back up, I can only take it out once.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna film it?
I was thinking I just leave that on the table.
But I gotta get ready to go to work, so I will talk to you guys later.
Thank you. Well, I will just say this, guys. There's no I think we accomplished something great by getting like 5 submissions for the event. So I think for this week, I mean, any ideas that you guys might have, I think that at the end of the day, just take on a challenge if you can, and we'll figure out a thunderclap.
Well, real quick for mine, I don't know if you guys know, but I did one.
I'm signing
off. Tai Chi Wonder messaged me and he said, "Hey, you want to be in mine?" So I'm in 2. So I think it's actually better if we strike the one I did solo, because the second one we collaborated on is way better and a lot truer to the original challenge.
I see. You're talking about for the Urban Action Showcase?
Yeah, the showcase.
Well, sure. I still think that content is content. If you shot something, and if you meant the one where you were meeting with yourself, that was brilliant. So please don't not put that out. Like, that's amazing.
Oh, we can still actually use that. And it turns out Video Leap on Android doesn't have the voiceover feature. So I've been writing them help, support requests to get that feature brought over, because I can make a lot of use out of it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, I can fix that one up, do some more with it, make it a bit better. But in terms of the challenge itself, the one me and Ruben did is just a lot more faithful to it.
Okay. Awesome.
The one I did, I was having a lot of fun with it, but I think I went a little off the map.
Well, man, I'm excited. I'm excited just to see that solo one of you, because I think that you're really building a library on JFH, which is it's hilarious and brilliant. So please keep doing that.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I should have some time this week. Don't know how much I'd be able to do, but I told you, especially over the pandemic, I had a lot of time to think, but I developed Sensei Claw's a whole approach to martial arts that's not really a martial art. It's just a way to help people organize their martial arts better.
Well, it is a. I think you're building something iconic, man. So.
Yeah, I can put a lot of that up. In the past, the biggest obstacle was just video editing, and I'd gone from an F to a C+ on that. So.
Well, the clear voiceovers are great, and I'd say that if you posted one on Instagram that has no audio, no music to it, I think that's great for when you post on the JFH app, because we don't want to have any blockages for licensing later on down the line right now. But when you post on Instagram or TikTok, I highly recommend even choosing some form of lowering the background music. And I think forget which platform. It might be Instagram that might be the challenging one, where sometimes I think it's YouTube, where the background music might just blot out your original audio altogether. But if you can like just put, an Avengers theme, kind of anything like soft in the background, that'll actually push the algorithm more to share it with more people. And so I just think it's an important thing to remember, that the more elements you use from the native platform oftentimes will make the content more shareable, and therefore accomplish that much more of the goal.
Oh yeah, no, I mean when I put music onto stuff, that's just giving it kind of. I like to say it's really more of a TikTok spin, but Instagram is trying to be TikTok right now.
Yes,
When
unfortunately.
I do that, that's not so much making what you might call informational content, like I like my stuff to be. That's really just more playing the game, having fun, getting some shares. Because usually that stuff gets shared more, weirdly enough. I'm getting a bunch of shares now on some of my not older but weaker month-old videos that are voiceovers. Those are starting to get traction, so it
That's
might be
awesome.
good to pivot. But for a while, you know, just the only, for lack of a better term, viral activity I was getting were the videos of some music, just because people like the goofy, weird eye candy stuff. Nothing was doing big numbers, but it was, better than nothing.
That's great, man. I'm just thinking about like a Sensei Claus anime kind of action scene with like really really big, like fast pops and then slow motion like follow throughs on different uppercuts and movements. So is that eventually?
I mean, you could definitely do a lot with Sensei Claus as an animated character, because even though the stuff I show is largely fundamentals, it's because fundamentals are safe and practical. You know, there's a lot of stuff that would be fun to show that I don't think is responsible to do in social media. Like, you see a lot of guys that have these great channels that are showing all these cool stunts and just think, well, okay, what about when a 9-year-old does that? But yeah, something like that in the cartoon environment could be a lot of fun, because you're able to do a lot of things that are just too insane to do in reality and get away with it.
Yeah, there might be some real fun to be had over there. I'm sure of it. And guys, I'm gonna shoot our new WeFunder vision video right now here in this apartment movie theater. And I love you guys. I'm very grateful for all the amazing work that you guys have done. And like I had a buddy come in, just real quick story, last week and a half ago, who's been a part of JFH since like college, and then has not been a part of it for like the last like 5 years or so. And he came back in, and just looking at all the stuff we've accomplished together, it was like a huge, I saw it through his eyes. I was showing him a bunch of quick, videos just to recap him on what's happened, and to see the growth. Even in the last like 2 years, the growth has been amazing, and it's just something to be celebrated. And so, and for me, that can be very challenging, because I'm always kind of like, oh, we got to next thing, So just taking a moment to honor that, to feel that, to say thank you, because I'm so grateful to be doing this with you guys, and to see that every week we really are, every little video, every idea, a bit of story really builds us to I think something that people are going to that's it's going to last for a very long time. And I think it's going to affect a lot of lives more than it already has. And so I'm just deeply grateful for you guys. So I just want to say thank you. And I'm going to take all that energy right now and put into this one vision video, because it's going to be the most divisive yet. We're gonna go hard. We're gonna go right for the jugular on this Fund Us on WeFunder video. So I love you guys so much. And if anyone has any idea for a thunderclap, just share it in the chat so we can go for that. It might be just promoting another hero, like we used to do. And yeah, any challenge you guys take on, it's great. I love you guys. Thank you as usual.
Real quick, actually, this is something that probably wouldn't be for this week, but I told you guys I like to build stuff, right? So Last few months, I've been working on some pretty cool things for knee pain and shoulder problems. So that I'm gonna probably market with the Professor Beowulf character, not Sensei Claus, just because clarity. You don't want things to be too confusing.
Okay.
But yeah, I filed a provisional patent for the first thing. I've got that, so could be huge.
It's amazing.
So, oh yeah, no, I mean I only happened to have the good bad luck to develop knee pain earlier this year, so I haven't been able to test as much as I'd like. But this is the best method of knee pain rehabilitation that I've found. I also want to pick James about it. Z, yeah, James is Sifu Hop. Don't know if you know him, but real good dude. Because I think it could also help guys like him with their type of Tai Chi. It's all to do with strengthening the lower tendons of the leg and foot.
Well, I'm very interested in I have an injury right now from scootering. I've literally avoided, play with hardcore killers and avoided any knee injury all like for my entire career. And then I have like a knee injury from like scootering on razor scooters with my son. And that's because I get on those scooters and I blaze at top speed, throwing tons of pressure into my kneecap. And so I'm like being very, very cautious right now. So any recovery guidance that you might have or be developing, I'm very, very interested, man.
Okay, well, I can share right now if Z doesn't mind. The basic idea for this one is, well, first, just disclaimer: this isn't for any injury; it's for knee pain. The idea is to use the tendons of the foot and again lower leg, the shin and such, to protect the knee. Basic concept is that those tendons are structural elements, because the foot has very small, fragile bones. The tendons are holding together. I was looking at some studies, and there's direct correlation between collapsed arches and knee pain. Again, not knee injury, knee pain. So I've got here is a modified flip-flop, right? This is the early prototype. Same as usual, but I cut the strap off. Cutting the strap off.
Hold on. If you're patent pending on this, let me cut the video.
No, patent pending is still protected. I'm filed. I just have 12 months to get a real patent.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so don't worry about it. I'm going to put this stuff online anyway. But yeah,
oh, man. Dude, you just reminded me that I have to call them. I put. Oh, my God. I gotta call the patent office. Totally forgot that our you just reminded me of a deadline and a challenge.
Yeah, I'm still in the fun phase. Around like 8 months, I'm gonna be in the scary phase again. But anyway, so you take something like a flip flop, right? Could even be a stair if you do one stairs. You put your toes over the edge, right? The taller flip flop, the better. You engage. Let's see. I'm just gonna. So you'd be standing on it, right? But you engage the toe flexion. Then, you being you could hold a posture like single whip or something, with the toes active.
Like this, the toes around the bottom of the flip flop, like this.
Yeah. The taller flip flop, the better. But this one is pretty normal, and it still has enough to get pretty good results. You could even stack them up. But yeah, you could do a single leg balance, like what's that one? Golden cockerel in the snow. You could shift your weight. You could do a squat, an isometric squat, a wall sit. Pretty much any Tai Chi posture. And the basic idea is you're allowing your toes to flex and grab downward. This reconstructs the foot. It strengthens the tendons there that, again, because of shoes, pavement, flat surfaces in general, are incredibly weak in almost everybody. And again, they're structural tendons. They're not just there to move the toes. They're part of the foot. They hold it together.
This is amazing because I'm doing it right now just in my boots. and I'm doing the flex, and I'm feeling my knee is moving, like
Yeah.
just by doing the flex here, and I've never really thought about it like that.
So that's normal. You probably have better kinesthetic awareness than the average guy because of the Tai Chi and such. I'd be surprised if you didn't. But this worked for basically everybody.
This is fantastic. So just so I can pull an exercise from this, like from this conversation right now, get my flip flops, stand on them, put my toes over the edge, and then hold a posture, let's say like single whip or any Neigong posture, etc. Standing meditative posture with that flex for a short amount of time, and then cycle that. Correct?
Yeah, you could flex the toes and let them go. You could flex gradually harder. You could basically do anything. The important part is just waking those tendons up again.
Okay.
Because once they're alive again, you'll find your foot kind of changes back. Like I have natural bunions pretty bad. And since I've been doing this, I should have actually been taking pictures, but I didn't think to at the time. My big toe, which used to be very much carved inward, has been taking more normal spot. Still got bunions, but you know, it's reduced. So the important thing is, you know, they say like anything is better than nothing. The toe flexors get so little involvement in your everyday life that almost any exercise program for them is better than what they're getting right now, which is either nothing or abuse. The only people that actually regularly exercise those in modern life are ones who live by the beach and all that. Because if you're walking barefoot on an amorphous or an uneven surface, then your toe flexors get to come to life for a bit.
Yeah.
For everyone
One of
else
my
in the
coaches
world,
used to say exactly that he trained his toes on the beach.
well, yeah, I mean, I can't say I wasn't thinking about that a little bit when I was doing this. It's one of the things that came to mind. But that's why I wanted to talk to James, is he's in that same Tai Chi family. So I was thinking he could use it too.
I just scheduled 11 videos coming out on my Tai Chi channel with James. So hit him up.
All right.
Dude, thank you guys so much. This theater, I only have it for another 42 minutes, so I'm gonna jump on this. But I love you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week at the latest.
Yeah, and we'll figure out the thunderclap the next day or two, I guess.
Thank you. Yes, and everybody, wefunder.com/ReelwUrld, justiceforhire.com to understand what we're doing as a global community, making a show together. Love you guys. Thanks, guys.